Hello everyone, my name is Rakhmetzhan Aliya and here's a presentation of my research. So my research topic is language transfer in third language acquisition, English and L1 influences on the acquisition of Korean language for junior students. So here's my content. First, I'm gonna talk about purpose and significance of this research. Then I'll go through research questions and research methods. Then I'll briefly tell about participants of this research. Then literature review, results, and findings will be discussed. And finally, I'll give my suggestion for further research. So first, what is the purpose of this research? This research aims to define Korean language learners' attitudes and perception regarding studying Korean as L3, and to study the contribution of English in L1 in learning Korean language, to consider the supplementary skills of learners that might be relevant as well as irrelevant during learning, and to identify to what extent Korean language learning through English is better than L1 or vice versa. So significance of this research is to solve the dilemma between studying Korean in L1 or in L2, which is English. So with the advent of the Korean wave or Hallyu, there is a tendency to believe that nowadays most Kazakhstani students have an interest in studying Korean. Moreover, their background language knowledge, which is L1 and L2, might be considered as the main source of support while learning Korean. However, a challenging problem here is the dilemma between studying Korean in L1 or in L2. Therefore, this issue has drawn an attention in the area of language transfer in third language acquisition. So here's my research questions. So first, what are the attitudes of Korean language learners regarding learning Korean in L1? Second question, what are the Korean language learners' attitudes towards learning Korean in English? And last one, to what extent does learning Korean in L1 differ from English? My research has both quantitative and qualitative approach. As quantitative approach, I have conducted self-designed questionnaire, while as a qualitative approach, I have conducted individual interview with my participants. As a total amount, I have worked with 15 students, so 15 students have participated in my questionnaire. And as a last question, the desire of my participants for further participation in the interview was concerned in order to voluntarily select students for the interview. So as a result, 6 students participated in my interview. So at the literature review, I gave some definition to keywords like what is language transfer, and then I have reviewed the studies on transfer in third language acquisition, and then I briefly give information about Korean structure, semantics, and cross-linguistic similarities with English, Kazakh, and Russian. So what are the results of my research? The questionnaire has shown that all of the participants use language transfer while learning Korean. They have integrated their prior language knowledge that are both L1 and English while studying. So while the level of native language was obvious, the participants were asked to show their level of English, and the responses resulted in a quite expected way. They all had an appropriate language proficiency in order to use language as the language of instruction. Also, participants have rated each 3 questions on which language goes first whenever there's a chance to apply background knowledge. So for the first place, most of the participants put their L1, that is both Kazakh and Russian. However, Kazakh language lags behind Russian. It's due to Russian was the language between student and teacher. And the second place went to English language. When it comes to supplementary skills like pronunciation, grammar, and translation, English was found a beneficial language for both translating from English to Korean and Korean to English, and for looking up the translation of Korean words in the dictionary as well. The main reason for that was Catholic language lacks dictionary with Korean words and phrases. In regards to learning grammar of Korean, Catholic language was found a profitable language because of resembles in grammar of two languages. Nevertheless, for adjusting Korean pronunciation, both English and Catholic had its own benefits. From Catholic language side, it's due to various sounds that helps to pronounce Korean letters properly, and from English language side, it's due to numerous loan words in Korean that helps to pronounce it properly. So for conclusion, I would like to say the learners mostly have chosen both two options, L1 and English, whenever there was a question that asked to choose the beneficial language. And moreover, both two languages have its own value when there is a chance to apply its knowledge in learning Korean. So therefore, there is no significant extent of difference in learning Korean in L1 or in English. So for further researcher, I have a suggestion to conduct research that focus on the role of Russian in Korean language acquisition, and also to conduct a research that focus on the role of only Catholic language in Korean language acquisition.